On to Farron. Christian Fittipaldi finally got restarted. He's going again, but he's fallen well through the order. He's off the leader lap, running in 13th position right now.
What a disaster for Christian. You never come back from spending that much time off the racetrack. He'd probably continue on here. I don't see any damage on the car at all. But threw away a rostrum position, which is unusual for Christian, because Jackie Oliver, his former team manager of Arrows Formula 1, will tell you he is one of the drivers that is particularly good at always coming up with the results when you need them.
So Christian Fittipaldi back in the run. Only two drivers have had no DNFs this year, Al Unser Jr. and Mauricio Guzman. Al Unser Jr. is at the top of the order.
Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines to Haviland Formula 3 motor oil and Texaco Antifreeze coolant, there's no better place to take your car than to the Star.
You got to treat it real good. Ooh, you got to treat it so fine. Put the pedal to the metal, mile after mile. Keep it humming all the time. Add more life to your car. Take it to the Star.
Firehawk, born at Indy, driven everywhere.
Coming up on July 9th, right after our coverage here on ESPN of the Road America race at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, IndyCar Speed Shop, hosted by Jack Arute, with Al Unser Jr., Michael Andretti, Mario Andretti, Bobby Rahal, Danny Sullivan, all part of it. Also, you get an opportunity to pick up some great IndyCar merchandise, some caps, some T-shirts, so when the IndyCars come to your area, you can be ready. And if you have a few extra bucks, the 1994 Lola chassis used by Mario Andretti on his Arrivederci Tour. Derek, you can pick that up, maybe $250,000, no problem.
Hey, no problem. Whatever you say.
Hey, it's in your pocket. No, I think you could buy it. Al Unser Jr. is still the leader, started third, now runs at the lead. He's led the most laps. Here's the real question. 25 laps ago, he made his last stop for fuel. The math does not carry him to 102 laps. Roger Penske's no doubt done the calculations, and in the last, what, 3-4 laps, Derek? Not only he, but most of the front of the order, most of the top 10 is going to have to be in for a stop.
The captain knows that, but we also believe that Tracy may have to be in for a stop or a splash and go, which we have seen many, many times here at Portland. This track, because of the so much acceleration, just sucks up the fuel.
All right, let me ask you a question then about pit position. Paul Tracy is the closest pit to the exit. Roger Penske is about a quarter of the way down the pits. There's an 85-mile-an-hour absolute speed limit. It's really 80, but they'll give you 5. Who has the advantage, if anybody?
If they do a good pit stop and maintain 80 miles an hour all the way in, all the way out, nobody has the advantage.
Jan Beekes?
Well, when you talk about that pit position, remember that they are each positioned in a way that they can come in as nearly as fast as they want, and then in Michael Andretti's case, he can get out as quickly, and as, of course, his teammate Paul Tracy. Now, the point I was going to make is about Penske Racing. Just check with Richard Buck in the situation with Al Unser Jr. Said, can you make it to the end? Of course, we speculate no way, but he said, well, it's going to be tight. In other words, giving us hope that, well, it is possible that he could do it, but we expect to see him in here with about 2 laps to go.
And of course, at this point in a run like this, nobody's giving you the most accurate information. That's staying very tightly guarded within the team. Al Unser Jr., you saw him as he flipped a tearaway off of his helmet, coming through the S's the last time, but this is a lap or so before that.
Goes over the curb. Oh, look at that piece of debris
what that was.
Flew out from underneath that Penske. Now, that may cause a handling difficulty. So let's watch very carefully and see, does Paul Tracy begin to close in on Al Unser Jr.? I don't know what that was. I don't know whether it was from Al Unser Jr.'s car. Maybe our pit reporters can look at that, but
9.8 seconds, the separation to Tracy right now. We'll keep tracking it. Al Unser Jr. continued his pace on the last lap, 112.5 miles an hour. What do you think, Derek? Here it is again.
He goes over the curb. Now watch from behind the race car. It looks like a piece 12 inches long by about 8 or 9 inches wide. And I don't see him run over that, so that may have come from the Penske.
Maybe it's his race plan on a clipboard. The question, Jan, what is it that came off of Little Al's car? Can you help?
Well, as close as you were watching that replay, so was Roger Penske and Richard Buck. They watch it very carefully, and they think it might be, when he went across the curb, a piece of that jab rock, that wood that is the skids underneath the car. They think that's what flew out behind Al Unser Jr.
Richard Buck, of course, the chief mechanic for Al Unser Jr., his longtime chief mechanic, in fact. Well, that would mean that everything's okay if, in fact, it is jab rock. It's not really critical to the performance of the car, not like one of the aerodynamic surfaces, which was one of the first questions. Grant Newberry there talks to Roger. They discuss it over. Rick Mears standing by as well. And they all, no doubt, Roger looking around said, oh, I'm on television now, so I can't check and see how my car's doing. He's leading, Roger, and he's pulling away from Paul Tracy, now running 10.6 seconds ahead. So whatever it came off doesn't seem like it made a difference.
There is a report from one of our corner spotters that it possibly could be a piece of jab rock which goes underneath the car from Marco Greco's car. Al Unser Jr.'s last lap was still above 114 miles an hour, so he's not going slower.
So from Greco and not from Unser Jr. Gary Gerould.
Well, if they're playing poker down here, oh, everybody's scrambling. We have a yellow. What's happened?
No,
Everybody's
no
going
yellow.
to the wall. Michael Andretti is coming in. Flat tire, we're told. Flat tire for Michael Andretti. We were just going to say if they're playing poker on fuel, they were emphatically insisting no splash and go needed. But a puncture has brought Michael Andretti in. His teammate Tracy continues to run second as we watch the tire change for Andretti. No other changes on the suspension, and he's out of here.
Oh, but it was costly. Dropped him down to 8th, last position on the leader lap. He went in 3rd, came out in 8th. But he did get the fuel.
And it took him 11 seconds, so that was more than just a splash and go. That was not a time stop. So he took a lot of fuel onto that car. You heard the rev limiter? They rev these now to 13,300 rev during qualifying. Race revs for the engine is about 1,300. And that rev limiter is so efficient that it simply does not allow the driver to rev the engine high enough to break it, no matter how much throttle he gives it.
Well, all of that action moves de Ferran up to 5th, but Stefan Johansson in a 1-year-old car is still working very hard on Gilles de Ferran. Unser Jr. is still the leader, 11 seconds now ahead of Paul Tracy.
It has a 4-wheel independent suspension system designed to hug the corners and fly down the straightaways. It has a gleaming red finish, durable enough to withstand vigorous bumping. It seats one comfortably. And although this vehicle will never win any speed races, it will help you come out ahead week after week in the checkout lane.
Dear Dave, it keeps getting better and better. Of course, I speak of Wendy's chicken cordon bleu sandwich. I am in love with the whole chicken breast filet. Ham, Swiss, grey poupon, Dijon moutarde, mayonnaise. All as you say on it, toasted Kaiser bun. It is very different, very special. Au revoir, mon chéri.
Wow. Wendy's chicken cordon bleu. There's nothing else like it anywhere.
Ford Contour brings you a world of innovative performance ideas, like the powerful yet efficient Z-Tech engine, and the Duratec that can go 100,000 miles before its first recommended tune-up, which is a long way down the road. Ideas like the Quadrolink suspension, so smart, it allows your rear wheels to adjust in sync with the front for more precise control, and that's a turn for the better. The totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. Well equipped for just $14,670.
Bob Murphy looking for his third win of this year. 3 birdies over a 4-hole stretch, has taken a 1-shot lead over Hale Irwin. That's the story here in the final round of the Nationwide Championship. Let's go back to the Budweiser G.I. Joe 200 in Portland. Here's Paul Page.
Thanks, Jim. Of course, golf coverage coming up next. The Senior PGA Tour, the conclusion of the Nationwide Classic. We'll send it right back as soon as the run is done here, but we've had some changes. Paul Tracy was running in second place and just suddenly slowed on the main straightaway. Now with just 6 laps to go, pulled it off and around into the paddock area. Here it was, slowed coming off that last corner and knew whatever it was real serious. Came all the way around the corner. He's with Gary Gerould.
Paul, I know this is tough. The drivetrain related?
Well, it's just it's a shame, really. Budweiser car was running really good, and we couldn't match Junior, but we were out there just pacing ourselves, trying to hold down second place, and something went wrong in the drivetrain. Either a clutch or a half shaft gave up, so it's a complete shame, and I feel real bad for the team.
How tough for you personally today with the tonsillitis inflamed and the headache and the temperature and all of that?
Well, it's been a tough day, and obviously we were driving well and trying to collect some points, and it's just a real shame we had to drop out with a stupid mechanical problem.
How damaging is this to your championship hopes? You were in 5th place within striking distance.
Well, it's really damaging. We were right there with a good finish here. It would have put us right there, and now we're going to be scratching at the bit for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
So Paul Tracy with a very disappointing retirement after driving a brilliant race. Now watching Raul Boesel on board with Bobby Rahal.
And he's in a fight here with Jimmy Vasser, who is now back up to his 2nd position, which would equal his best ever. Finished 2nd in Detroit. Now having to hold off Bobby Rahal.
So the order is Vasser following Unser Jr., then Bobby Rahal, Gil de Ferran, Stefan Johansson, Raul Boesel, and Michael Andretti. As we go down through the remainder of the order, those off the leader lap, Mauricio Guzman, Robbie Gordon, 10th place is Adrian Fernandez, and then Paul Tracy is falling through the order, but Christian Fittipaldi is back up to 12th right now. Bobby Rahal runs in 3rd place right now. Al Unser Jr. has a 29-second lead, but in the next couple of laps, he very definitely should have to stop. We're going to go away now. When we come back, we should see some action going to the checkered.
I get here early to stock up on Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil because it gives my engine complete protection.
Me too.
Michael Andretti.
Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility and fight vaporization. And it's the same oil used by championship racing teams.
Empty.
Tough track, huh?
Take it to the stars.
Buy a case of Haviland and get this Texaco Haviland number 28 die-cast race car model free.
You'll never have a bad day. So it's nice to know that a PPG certified collision repair shop can restore your car's finish and guarantee the paint for as long as you own your car. PPG, world leaders in automotive finishes.
With 3 laps to go, Gil de Ferran just had a failure on the car, pulled off the line. He was running in 4th place. That gave Johansson the opportunity to stream past as well as everybody else.